Welcome to Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. My name is Elsie Godwin. I'm here with Ife Oshunkeye and Ife Omai. Hey guys.
What up?
How you doing?
Not good.
How are you?
I'm all red. Okay, let's talk about
You guys
actress.
don't even ask me why I'm not good. I'll carry.
Are you not good?
You didn't say.
Did you say you're not good?
Yes.
Oh, you're not good?
Yeah.
Why are you not good?
I missed Tokumbo.
You had Tokumbo this morning. Are you sure there isn't more to it?
Let's go on.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you want to share anything?
No, nothing.
It's your brother.
Nothing I can share.
Okay. Actress Nze calls for the arrest of the Prince and REMA for allegedly abusing an underage girl. Okay, I think we spoke about this on Monday morning. I don't think Ife was here. Were you here? What we're talking? Okay. So it's basically a case of this ladies. Let me use ladies for them. Now they're saying they're underage. I don't know how that came about, but we saw the pictures
This is the picture
and
of the woman.
underage, right? And I don't know who this Nze. Oh, this is the Nze.
Yeah, that's the actress.
Yeah, and she's saying that they need to arrest them for using.
And where did Rema get dragged? Does she even know the story?
Rema is
It's
Rema's manager.
So why is she calling for the arrest of Rema?
I think she just wanted to make a statement. I feel like she doesn't even understand the story except she knows this girl that we do not know, and she knows that the person is 18 years. But
18 is an adult, though.
Exactly. So I don't think she's
but then she said
enlightened
stop
enough
chilling
on
with
this.
broke celebrities.
Yeah, she should have thrown a sub and let it go, but don't call for people to arrest. If you really just want to throw your sub, yeah.
Because she doesn't even know the full story.
Yeah, you don't know the full story.
I feel like she
You're
knows what
saying
we know.
18-year-old girl is underage, like, come on.
I'm trying to figure out what her stance is. Is it that they're underage, or is it that she's paying that they weren't paid for their sex work?
No, services. Coddling services.
Or is it that
Okay, if I was around.
Or is it that they were broke? Which is your problem? That the celebrities are broke? Because if they're not broke, would you also want them to be arrested? So are they broke, or are they underage, or are they unfairly
I just say this
treated?
is another clout chaser.
I agree.
And I still don't know who this person is.
I don't know
It's
either.
still weird.
And I didn't even bother to go check up on
I mean,
you know, like, she doesn't even have that vibe. Vibes don't lie.
If they are friends, I could believe it, because they are both of them, the storyteller and her, have the same characteristics of not being clear with what they want to say. The same story, and then they went to the room, and then she came, and then 2 hours later I came, and then it's like
Birds of the same feather flock together. They must be friends.
I think we want to move on quickly from that one. Talk about BBNaija's Bam Bam, who calls out Nigeria police force for allegedly harassing her brother. I think the interesting part of this story is the comment section, where people are literally dragging her and saying it's now that she's talking about it.
Involved.
I mean, we've been having this conversation for a very long time. You've not said anything, and now, you know, basically.
Well, I don't think they should drag anyone, because at the end of the day, it's what you want to advocate for. You can't tell me what I should be advocating for. So she's saying this because she's affected by it. Obviously, the only time you complain about power outages, maybe your gen, is when your gen is not working and PHCN, or what is that they call now?
Yeah, I mean, they go by so many names, but let's just stick with PHCN.
Yeah, and then the power goes out. That's the only time you remember, like, this country. But if your gen was working perfectly, you just go downstairs and disturb all your neighbors. So I think it's just human nature. So
I think it's a very human thing. You can't fight everyone's battles, and you can't concentrate on. There's so many social ills, so many, that you have to pick and choose which one you can follow. It's just human. I would say, however, that they need to give grace to these people. There's a lot of problems, even for the rich, that the poor people don't fight for, and vice versa, that the poor people struggle with, that the rich don't fight for, until it becomes close to you. If you see any human being who is going out of their way to fight for an ill that hasn't affected them personally, those people are angels. Like, it's not a common thing. Most of the foundations that are built today are built from people who have lost someone to that cause.
Or know
Cancer.
someone who has
Yeah.
lost someone.
But at the same time, I think I know where people are coming from, because this is someone that is a TV reality star, and the popularity they enjoy now, the fame they enjoy, is basically off social media, and the fact that people still looking for them and following them, and then they have pages that are close to 1 million or even more than 1 million now, which they created some form of business around it and are living their life. So what this NSAS issue is not something that just the people that were affected have been talking about. So many people, I mean, there was a whole week that it trended because people died, and people felt like, okay, this is something we have to aggressively talk about. And when this advocacy happened, I think this is not the first time we are going to talk about celebrities not even being bothered about things that are happening here, until it's something that's happening in America, for example, and then they see their celebrities over there lending a voice, and then you suddenly want to lend a voice to something, to a cause that you're not even affected by, right? So I feel, I'm not saying this just because of Bam Bam, but I feel like when you have a platform on social media, when you have followers, no matter how little it is, and there is a movement to better something that's affecting people generally,
There's a lot of movement.
just try. I'm not saying you
that
have
Bam Bam
to,
hasn't
but
advocated
try.
for anything.
I mean,
I'm
we've not
sure
seen.
because maybe she
I
hasn't
have not
voiced.
seen.
Maybe she hasn't voiced her opinion that strongly, but I doubt that she's sitting there thinking, yeah, police brutality, I don't care. I'm sure she has had conversations with it and maybe not put it on social media, but to say that somebody isn't allowed to grieve over the fact that it has reached her family just because she hasn't strongly advocated for it.
I'm not saying she's
is a
not
bit
allowed to grieve. I'm
insensitive.
just saying they should be more sensitive to the cause of the society, because
There's a lot.
But
yes,
but
I'm
she's
not saying
the
they have
only
to
one that is
advocate.
supposed to be
Oh, that's what I'm
screaming
saying.
on
This is
social
not
media. A lot
about
of
Bam
people
Bam
already
right
did
now.
that, so.
This is not about Bam Bam. I mean,
It's just about
if
celebrities
a
general.
random person comes out to tweet about NSAS, except, okay, let's even forget about NSAS. Something happens and you just tweet about it. There is almost 0% possibility that bloggers will pick it up. But if it's just like when Simi comes out to talk about so many things, people have been talking about fraudsters and all that for a very long time. But because it came from a Simi, that became some sort of awakening to so many people, and that is the kind of power they hold. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying this is about Bam Bam or not Bam Bam. I'm just saying they should just stop turning their face away. They should just stop turning their face away when these issues are being discussed, because at the end of the day, it affects every one of us, whether we like it or not. Now it has gotten to her family, Abi. She's talking. Sorry, they will come to your aid. Do you have anything to say again?
I just, in as much as I understand where you're coming from, I just don't think it's also reasonable for people to bash out now that she's speaking up, because there's a saying that now who wears shoe, I know where they bite down for leg. So right now she's the one wearing the shoes. She's probably had to go to Ibadan to go and bail, to go and do this, or send somebody, send money, send this, send that. So she knows how she's deeply affected by it, and
Yeah, we know too.
yeah. So if she feels it's the right time to speak about it, then please let by
I
all
would
means,
have
let her
understood
speak up.
the backlash if she was somebody that was advocating the
for all the
opposite.
stuff,
You know,
Before
no, the
now,
opposite.
okay.
Like, was even saying like, oh, it's not a big deal. SARS is good to me. You understand? If it was that tone, maybe I'd get it. But I have a very strong feeling this girl probably has been advocating for it before then in the industry. They target the industry people a lot, especially for the image and stuff. I'm sure she must have said something like, guys, I'm so sorry.
And
or
a lot of them
Alright,
don't
I
just
think
like to
it's
jump on the bandwagon, because every celebrity is doing it, then I should also jump on it and be, you get.
Okay, it's time for a break, but when we return, we'll be bringing you the latest exciting entertainment news. We'll be right back.
You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time.
I loved the energy when I came in here. It was so positive. I was like, I can live here.
My real names are Akbofiofobo, Akborobomemere.
I think my father is a comedian, because most times when he calls me, he's like, yo, make sure you use condom, you know, them girls out there.
So are you telling me I should have shot my shots?
Ife, you have a younger brother. Age is nothing but a number. Well, I'm a vampire.
I believe in equal rights for women, and I also believe that a man is the head of the house, so we need to draw our limits somewhere.
Feels so
so good. Now can I do my jam now?
Yeah, you can. Welcome back. This is Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Up next for conversation is this story on Young Tog, whose gun case has been dropped by DA's office due to lack of DNA evidence. If you're shook here.
Yeah, so basically, there was no fingerprints on the gun, like his fingerprint wasn't there, and it could belong to anybody because they were trying to pin it on Young Tog, but they didn't find his fingerprint, so it's been dismissed, and I think justice has been served, and they're trying to make it look like, yeah, the American legal system is working, because the perception is that they're trying to put every black man, every rich black man behind bars, but in this case, they are actually the ones that came out to say, look, we didn't find enough evidence to put this man in jail, so he has to be a free man, so I think that's very commendable.
Okay, if you're mine.
I agree too. I think obviously with the history in America, it's there's no way you cannot talk about America's issues without using race, because everything is about race. They see the color first. Maybe we don't have that problem here because we're privileged enough to be majority in our own land, but you can't say the same for them. So it's always about race. And when it comes to the law, we know that the law has been a very good driving force for racism. That's one of the biggest equipments the racist people have. So I'm glad that this has happened. I commend the law system, but I also wanted to also speak to my black brothers there. There is this culture of violence and thugging, and I know McMill has been a good advocate for that we need to start to really think about the future. Even the fact that we keep implicating ourselves or being in that position over and over again, if we can start to even think of ways to defend ourselves, because these people are not our friends. We've seen that clearly. So I'm just hoping that this is also one of those things where he sees it as a second chance. And you can even, gets more careful in future.
You can even bring in racism into this as well, because what led to searching his vehicle in the first place was a police car was him ramming his Rolls Royce into a police. What's it called now? What is it called? A police car, what did they call it? Yeah, a police car. They said he rammed this car into the police car, but the surveillance footage and the body cam has shown that it was the police that couldn't stop on time and rammed into him.
Oh, wow.
So, and they searched him anyways, even though I'm sure if you run into somebody, you would know. So they knew they were the ones at fault, but they still went ahead to search the car.
I think this is going this way now, because it seems like in America, everybody's trying to sit up, especially with the wave of when they see us movie going on right now, because that's like a huge documentary or docu-series on what is going on. Oh, yes, I did, right? And the what's the name of this park now? What's the name of the park? Oh, God. The 5 men in the movie, anyway, that's been exonerated, are granting interviews now. So many conversations are going around the justice system reform and not necessarily looking at someone and just once you see black, you see criminal. I mean, seeing black doesn't mean this person is a criminal. It's still,
such a tricky
so I think there's this serious wave going on right now, thanks to the producers of that docu-series. And off the back of that, they are all sitting up and trying to clean houses.
A lot of people that live in America are saying that this movie it's only helpful to those that are outside America, and that in America that it's their reality. It happens every day. A friend of mine even said, as we speak, somebody has been misarrested, misendeavored is the name for it, and it's been judged unfairly, or that they've actually committed a crime and they've been judged a drastic.
Yeah, you can say it's just for those that are out there, but you can't overrule the power of storytelling and the fact that all eyes right now is on America on this particular area. So yes, you might feel like, but then I saw statistics. Thank you. I saw statistics on the movie View, and I mean it's like the most watched in America, not just here. So it's not just about people outside; it's also to shine light on the issues that are going on, and I hope that it really gets better, because it is scary.
And it's happening here in Nigeria too. I think someone should take up that storyline, I think
it's just that ours is not that the white person is doing it, it's that we're doing it to ourselves.
When you have the tattoo and dread.
Or when you wear boxers.
Up, up next for conversation, violence erupts as Kizz refused taking pictures with a top fan in Turkey. I don't know how bloggers understood that this person is a top fan. And I don't know if we have the video also, but I saw the video and I'm wondering, is it by force to take picture?
Well, I don't know why my brain is programmed to
advocate.
Just believe that everything is staged. Like, I don't know why, but
this one wasn't looking like
for like a week now, everything they've been doing to me is just like, oh, publicity stunt, publicity stunt, publicity stunt. Because I don't know why a fan would insist and be like...
He looked high. I think he was
maybe
high.
he was drunk or
yeah,
something.
And then you know how
and
they
it was
get
after
said,
a show.
I want this. Yeah.
Yeah, it was after, well, okay.
And people are getting very self-entitled lately. Don't you remember P-Square's thing? It was like, if you don't give me... if you don't give me this money, I want... So it's a thing now where because before social media we weren't really that connected to our celebrities, and if you have a crush on this person or admire this person, you can feed on their Instagram, their Snapchat, their IG story, and you start to feel like, you know, didn't you ever watch a series and start to feel like you know this person for real, like this is actually my friend. When something happens, you also feel the pain for them. Sometimes people really go into their world. So I just think it's a really massive, like, really endearing fan that probably was on something,
but first and foremost,
and got really,
maybe not first and foremost, but why couldn't he just take a picture?
They feel like you don't know his mood. Like we've always said, celebrity or no celebrity, you have blood and what
sweat.
Yeah, you have blood.
Sweat.
No, you have blood running through your veins. I don't know why my English is getting mixed up this afternoon, but you have blood running through your veins, right? It probably got off the show. His mic probably went off. The sound system probably wasn't cool enough. They probably didn't give him enough time. And brother is not in the mood to take any picture. He's probably pissed at his team.
But see, the thing is, I agree with you in the first time that, like, yeah, they're not going to be in the mood. But like as a celebrity, that is
it's actually after a show.
To take a picture.
That's the only in a random place.
To take a picture.
That wasn't a random place. That
was a car park. Bro was going into his car.
From where?
From the show.
From performing.
Yeah.
So you should be in that mood.
No, why didn't you snap with me when I was still in the venue?
How easy was it to find him?
Yeah, I'm sure Kizz Daniel, you can't tell me that he would check
if he's met him at a random place where he was just chilling and eating his food and said he's not in the mood to be a celebrity right now, that's a different thing. But you went to perform. You should be able to.
You don't have that much doing apart from writing music and performing. Your next duty is to entertain your fans. Everyone will tell you that. Go for press releases. They'll do pop thingies where you can sign signatures.
I don't think that's a place to.
No, that place didn't even look like the place to ask for.
And I think he was also aggressive. I think I was supporting the fact that if you come across too like demanding, that could turn me off as a person. That even if I want to take a picture with you, bros, like calm down. So you know, now I stand next to you and you hurt me, or
you have to,
or maybe it's even acting like their guys already. Like Kizz Daniel, my guy, maybe we'll snap now. That one is like.
All right, let's move on from that one. The new kid on the block, REMA, says he cannot be distracted by fame, money, or girls. Ifeoma, let's come see you.
He will be distracted.
How sure are you? Why are you so sure?
He will. He's a kid.
You checked the comment section, right?
No, I didn't.
What did you say, Ife?
No, a lot of people are saying, oh, you can't say that until you get the fame, the money, and the girls.
You kind of have gotten the fame. And
no, people are saying that, oh, he's beginning to feel like he's a star for him to even
I don't know what interested you guys from that video, but for me, it was when he was saying we don't take for streets.
Yeah, you know? And I'm like, but wait, you know what? Everybody has their definition of streets.
Okay.
That's something I've realized.
So what's the definition of his streets?
His own definition of streets would have been, he was a studio rat. He was jumping from one studio.
How old is this boy again?
I don't know.
Someone
asked me the same question yesterday. Who knows REMA's age?
It's supposed to be a kid. I mean,
it's part of life.
Yeah, I don't think
away from movies and fame. A young boy is going through so much in terms of like puberty and human development that he's going to be interested in that, and he's definitely going to be obsessed with that at a phase.
But we all agree that Whiskey came from the streets, right? We all kind of agree
Me, I
when
don't
Whiskey
talk
came
street
out.
stuff. I don't know how that
He
works.
came from the streets.
Yeah, because of his struggle, because of where he grew up, Surulere, Ojuelegba, you know, jumping from one studio, watching other artists record and not getting the chance. And that was his definition of streets, and it worked for him. It didn't mean that Whiskey was, he did bus conductor or he lived under the bridge. That wasn't what made him streets. It's the struggle. So you don't know how long this guy has been grinding to
How
make
long
this.
could he have been grinding?
Even if it's 5 years.
5 years.
Even if it's 5 years.
Look, I think
that
I need
you
someone
work.
to confirm Rema's age very quickly, but
Let's even assume
How
that
can you
Rema.
say 5
let's
years?
Assume that Rema is 18 years.
I
and he
doubt that. I
started.
think it's
no,
a teenager. Like it's like 16, 15.
because I remember
Come
there was a time he tweeted on social media and then people came at him and was saying, it seems you're on holiday, right? For that to happen and others were like, calm down, don't attack him like that. So it seems like he's doing music and doing school. Okay, I don't know.
Someone that probably sits in his father's car while they drive him to the studio and they say, Uncle, please, my son wants
I don't
to
know if you guys have
thingy."
seen one of his pictures that he was in a Rolls Royce and it was actually a green background. It was a green studio. It was a chroma studio that they shot that picture.
The Rolls
It
Royce was
wasn't,
in the...
yeah, he wasn't in a Rolls Royce. They used the green background. They put him in a Rolls Royce. So he said I had to pretend to be rich to.
Okay, so Rema is 19 years old.
Okay, so let's assume this guy started music at the age of 14 and then it took him 5 years for Mavens to discover. That's a struggle. That's a story. It's
Is
part
the
of the
struggle
story.
street? Is that what that means?
That's
Let's
what I'm
break
saying,
that.
like,
So when
we
you
have
say
different
street,
definitions
right?
of
Okay,
street.
whatever definition. Are you saying that if I've ever struggled, like right now, I can say I'm from the
You guys
street?
should go and take it up with Davido. Back when I was broke,
Davido
yo.
did not say, no, that
He
was
did not tell you
just
when he was
music.
broke.
Trust me, you can write anything in music, but this
Yeah.
guy is coming on a live video on Instagram and
Davido
saying,
never
oh,
says that on
I've
live.
been on the
live-
streets.
But Davido
I'm
will
not
tell you
going
about his clash with his dad as his biggest struggle when they
Yeah.
cut him off and all that stuff. But he will never say that like I'm struggling, I'm from the streets.
Anyway, Rema, at least the good thing is Ife Oshokoye understands your struggle, and I kind of do too. So good luck and enjoy the fame and the money, and that's exactly where we wrap up on this episode of Tea Time. Remember, you can always be part of this conversation by using the hashtag Tea Time on social media or Twitter at us at Plus TV Africa. Until then, my big thank yous always goes to my co-anchors Ife Oshokoye and Ife Omai, the entire production team. My name is Elsie Godwin saying thank you for watching and have yourselves a good evening.